Today we're going to work on Utkatasana, or chair pose. So, standing pose, chair pose. So we'll work on the mechanics of being really grounded in our feet, strength in our legs, and then a lifting up of the chest. All right, let's get started, you guys. So if you want, you can have blocks. I actually recommend having at least one block if you can. Run right now and get it if you don't have it. Otherwise, you could take a blanket. Sorry, a feather dropped this morning, so I had to take it. You could take a towel and fold it up like this. We might use this to create stability in the inner thigh. Inner thighs are pretty important in Utkatasana, and you'll see why. So let's start in Virasana. I have a towel here for my feet because the pool deck is a little wet. I don't want to get it all over my mat. So we're coming into Virasana. If you're going to use a block for Virasana, go ahead and take your block this width, come in front, and then go ahead and hug the block with your ankle bones. Connect your sits bones and then sit up nice and tall. And then I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. Just take your hands in your lap and sit up nice and tall in your spine. And then just do a check-in with the different areas of your body. See if there's an area that needs support. Check in to what's feeling comfortable and good right now. And make any adjustments that you need. And then once you've found your sustainable seat, press down into the tops of your feet and your shins. Just feel the activation that happens in the rest of the body above the tops of your feet and your shins as you actively press down. Bring your awareness to the space in your knees. Tuning into the bend in your knees and the stretch of your muscles along the front of your leg. And tuning into how your hamstrings fold into your calf muscles at the back of your leg. Stay active in your shins and the top of your feet. And squeeze your upper leg muscles, creating some strength and stability here. And then feel your femur bone, right? So it's your thigh bone. And bring your awareness to the top of the thigh bone where it comes into your hip joint. And this is a ball and socket joint. And I want you to imagine and then take your imagination into the physicality of your body and press down the top of your femur bone down towards your mat. Right? It feels weird. If you need help, just take your hands, get high up into your hip joint, and then press down as you draw your belly button in and up. Just Just notice those subtle changes as you drive the head of your femur bone down, as your belly button pulls in and up. And just take a few breaths here. Take long, deep breaths in and out of your nose. Begin to create even more length through the spine. Keep drawing down the tops of your femur bones. Pull the belly in and up. And then lift the crown of your head up towards the sky, or the ceiling, or wherever you are. Breathe that space into your spine. Maybe you notice one vertebrae at a time, from the lower back all the way up to your neck. Maybe you see the spine whole and it's like a rubber band being stretched. A gentle stretch, not a snappy stretch. As you breathe in, keep lengthening up the spine, grounding down into your legs. Exhale, actively draw the belly button towards the spine. Drive the head of the femur bone down. A couple more breaths here. Inhale all the way to the top of your breath. Lengthen up. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let your upper arm bones move back. Stay active in your legs. One more breath here. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Let go of all of the activity. Draw your head to your heart. Blink, open your eyes, gaze through your fingertips to the ground. And then gaze comes forward. Good. So that concept of the head of the femur bone driving down and the belly button in just helps to create some stability and a stretch. Like it's a place to stretch from. So I will keep sprinkling that concept in as we go. Keep the belly drawn in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands together. Do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now here comes the fun part. As you inhale, reach up, press into your shins, rise all the way up. Look up if it feels okay for your neck. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Try to stay upright in your spine. Drive the head of the femur bone down as your belly pulls in and land. So we're going straight up and straight down. Avoid doing this, coming, forward with the torso. No, we don't want to do that. We want to keep the head of the femur bone driving down and the belly in as we come up, right? Using that to power ourselves up. So hands to your heart. Inhale, rise up, swing the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Settle back down. Good. Inhale, straight up, really push into your shins. Exhale, settle yourself down. Whew. Go slow. Inhale, reach up, press into your shins. Reach, reach, reach. Press your hips forward. Exhale, coming back down. Keep Driving the head of the femur bone down as your belly pops in and up. Good, and then take it down. Whew. Wake up those thighs. Yeah, and just do this. All right, a little tapping. Feels good. I know I made you work right away. Okay. Sit up. Do a little twist here. Twist to the right. Inhale, come to center, and exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, come to center, drive down the head of the femur bone. So you're trying to push, basically your sits bones, right? If you want to connect it, I think the anatomy-wise that way, when you're pressing down the head of your femur bone, your sits bone should press down a little bit more. Draw the belly in so there's like a stretch happening between the head of the femur bone and the lower ribs. Good. And then twist to your right. Might make more sense when we stand up. Inhale, come to center, or it might not make sense at all, and just go with it. You know, you don't always have to, just take what I say, and if it resonates for you, great. If not, you know, you don't have to hang on to it. Breathe here. And come forward. Let's come onto our hands and knees. Coming off of the block or whatever you were sitting on. Hands here are going to be shoulder width apart. Take your index finger and point it at 12 o'clock. Take your right foot back behind you so that you're pushing your toes down into your mat and your heel pushes back. Just get a nice stretch of your leg. And then take your right knee down, take the left foot back, push your toes down into your mat. Steady your breath. And then take the left knee down. Let's do some rotations in our hip because we're going to need some, hip flexibility is helpful as we go into Utkatasana or chair pose. Pull your right knee forward, take it out, try to drive your heel up as you make this big circle with your knee. So we're going to do 5 circles in each direction. That was 1. Try to press your heel up as you come around. 2, 3, it doesn't matter what direction you go in because we'll go the opposite. 4, and 5. Going in the opposite direction, I'm going backwards, pressing the heel up, turning the knee out, and coming back in. 2, 3. Keep the neck long. 4, so maybe your gaze is just down. 5. Good. Now keep your knee lifted, so I don't want you letting it touch the ground yet. And then take the knee out to the side and back. Out to the side and back. We'll only do 5 of these. So this is 3. Keep your foot flexed. 4 and 5. Take it down. Let's come into child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Forehead comes down to the mat. You could take a block underneath your head if you wanted to bring the mat up to you. Otherwise, we're just sitting in child's pose for a moment. Now here, drive your hips down. So you're driving the head of your femur bone down towards your heels as you draw your belly in and up. A little more active child's pose. It's less passive when we're actively pushing our hips down. As you inhale, come up. Reset your knees to hips distance apart. And let's go to the other side with our knee circles. So I'm going to go forward, out, and as I come up, this heel lifts and bring it back. Big circles, trying to keep the heel pressing up towards the sky as you come around. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to go backwards, pushing my heel up, taking me out to the side. My foot stays flexed the whole time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last big circle. Keep your shin elevated off of your mat and then take the knee out to the side 5 times and back. Here's 2 and back. 3, gaze is just straight down in between your hands. 4 and 5. Bring it back, big toes touch. Sink your hips back, really drive down the head of the femur bone, pull the belly in and up, and then fold down into your child's pose. Stretch long here. Get your hands as far forward as you can so you can feel the stretch in your side body. Maybe your head pops up. Doesn't have to reach the ground. Inhale, now look between your hands. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. And then see if your head can drop down. Feeling that stretch through your right side body. Inhale, look up and bring your hands to center. Exhale, go over to the other side. Remove all my props here. One more breath. And then walk your hands back to center and all the way back. Let's make our way onto our backs. And as we come down onto your back, take a nice full body stretch here. Keep your arms back behind you. Press your feet forward. Exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. Keep both feet flexed. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, hug your right knee in, twist to your left. So we're going to alternate here between the knee in and the twist. Inhale, full body stretch, going about 1 breath per movement. Exhale, left knee in, twist to the right. Creating some mobility in the spine. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, right knee in. If you want to, you can pick your head up to meet your knee. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, left knee in. You pick your head up. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, right knee in, twist to your left. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, left knee in, twist to your right. Inhale, full body stretch. And then exhale, hug both of your knees into your chest. Grab a hold of your left shin, extend your right leg up towards the sky. Now, flex your feet here and pull your toes down towards your face. Keep the belly drawn in, and you want to try to bring that femur bone down into the hip socket. So imagine that you had a strap and you were just plugging in, right? You're pulling down, or you had your hand on your foot and it's locked in, right? So that the ball of the head of the femur bone can really rotate within the hip socket, right? The pocket. Now inhale, lower your heel to the floor. Exhale, lift it up. We're going to do 10 of these. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Here's 3, lowering, lift. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, keep your belly drawn in. 8, 9, and 10. Lift your heel up towards the ceiling, turn your toes out to the side, and then take your right leg out to the side. So here we're just stretching our right inner thigh, keeping a hold of your left knee, hugging it into your body. Keep your shoulder blades moving down your back. Stay here for 5, 4, really push out with the heel, 2, 1, take the leg back up, hug it in, rock side to side. Other side, grab a hold of your right shin, left leg. You're going to press your heel up and pull the toes down, but you're trying to still drive the head of the femur bone down into the hip socket. All right, so just pressing it down. It creates a different activity here in the legs. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower the left leg down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. We're doing 10, so here's 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Keep going. 8. 9. And 10. Lift. Your left leg up. Turn the left toes out to the left side. And then take your left leg all the way over to the left side of your room, your area, your mat. Keep hugging the right leg in. So stretching your inner left thigh. Breathe here. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Keep both feet flexed. One more breath. And then lift your left leg up, hug both knees into your chest. Point and flex your feet. As you rock from side to side. Maybe you want to do circles and just be still with your ankles. And then take your feet down to the ground, your mat, knees up. Take your feet wide, and then let your knees roll over to the left side of your mat. And as you're here, feel this stretch through the right side. And I want you to push your right shin towards the front of your mat. So you should feel an increase of the stretch of your quadricep muscles on the right side. You should feel some activity here in the center of your core. Flex your feet and draw your belly button in and up. So a nice stretch happening. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, roll your knees over to the right side of your mat. Press your left shin forward. Feeling that stretch now through the left quadricep muscles. Some activity here in the hip and core area. Flex your feet. And draw your belly button in and up. And let your breath deepen again. So we'll take one more breath. Draw your belly button in and then bring your knees up to center and then just go from side to side with your knees. Doing this windshield wiper action. One more time, side to side. And then bring your knees into your chest. Flex your feet. And then take your hands to your hamstrings. And we'll rock and roll up and down the length of our spine. Do that a few times. Just come up and let your heels rest. Lift your chest as you come up. One more time. And all the way up. Good. Now flex your feet and then sit up tall. So we want to practice sitting up nice and tall. Pulling the femur bones into the hip socket. Driving the hips down and draw your belly in. And we'll do like a modified seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift the chest up. Keep your feet flexed here. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round it. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, lift your chest up. Really emphasize the collarbones lifting. And then exhale, round your spine. And then sit back up nice and tall. And then take your right leg forward. If you can, grab your toes, the inside of your foot or maybe your calf or ankle, and think about plugging the femur bone into the hip socket. Good. I'm just going to hold my calf here. My left hand is coming to the front of my left shin. And then lift your chest. Stay very tall. If you can grab your toes, great. Sit up, draw the shoulders back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Let's go to the other side. So left leg forward. Remember to sit up tall. Right, you might have to grab your shin. Just try that out. Take your left leg, plug the femur bone in, and then sit up tall. Right, so you're drawing your heel towards the hip. And that's what we're doing with the left hand. See, my left leg is shaking. It's like, woo! Activating some muscles here. Right, sit up tall. Keep lifting your collarbones up and squeeze your shoulder blades together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Now, sit on your sits bones, flex your feet, lean back a little bit and lift your heels. Take your hands at your hamstrings and then straighten your legs. I'll turn to the side here. So I'm leaning back, hands to the hamstrings. Then keep your feet flexed and your toes spread. Extend the legs forward as much as you can. And if you want to remind yourself to drive the head of the femur bone down, you can just put your hands into your hips, drive it down. Pull the belly in and up as you do that. And you don't have to straighten out your legs. You can keep them bent. Keep your feet active. Stay here for 10. Maybe you let go. 9, 8. Lift your chest. 5, 4. Look at me shake. 3, 2, 1. Cross the legs. And come forward. So shaking's not bad, right? It just means that we're waking something up that we haven't been utilizing. So do some torso rolls here just because it feels good after that much activity. Go in the opposite direction. Okay. And then let's come up to seated. Come onto your hands and knees and we'll go right into a downward facing dog. So your feet here, bring them hips distance apart. Pull your belly button in and up. And then bend your knees a lot. And then tilt your sits bones up towards the sky, pushing the head of your femur bone kind of out and down. Pull your belly button in, and then straighten your legs. Feel that increased stretch in your legs. Breathe in. Exhale, push your chest towards your thighs even more. And then look forward. Walk your feet to your hands. So take your feet about hips distance apart here. Draw the belly in and fold. You want to take your hands to opposite elbows, coming into a ragdoll position. Push down into your feet, so create that foundation. Squeeze the legs. Draw your belly in. See if that can help you fold a little bit deeper. And then release your hands. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, take your right foot back and your right knee down. Come into a low lunge. Reach your arms up. Think about your inner thigh muscles and squeeze them together. It's like a scissoring action. Right? Just square your hips. Bring your arms up and then come into this goalpost position. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then lift your collarbones up. All right, so now we're preparing the upper body for Utkatasana, chair pose. Squeeze those shoulders in, lift your collarbones up. Keep the belly drawn in and up. Stretching here in the right quadricep muscle. Your psoas muscle is getting a stretch. Breathe in. And then exhale, take your hands down. Just go ahead and switch sides. So no fanfare. Just right foot forward, left knee back. Rise up, reach the arms up. Lift the collarbones, and then go post the arms again. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Scissor the legs, so you're trying to squeeze them together, and it creates the right hip going back and the left hip inching forward, creating a solidness in your pose. Go posting the arms and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your collarbones up. Maybe your gaze goes up. Doesn't have to, or I can stay forward. Stay here and breathe with me. Stay active in your legs. And the next exhale, take your hands down, curl the back toes under, lift your left knee, step forward, and fold. Nice deep breaths in and out of your nose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And hands to your heart as you exhale. All right, so here's where we're going to add in the block or a blanket or a towel. So if you have a block, take the block between the upper thigh. Okay, so first we're going to do, like, not much, we're just going to stand here. All right, and I want you to squeeze the block with your inner thighs and try to push the block back behind you so that there's an internal rotation happening in the thigh bone. All right, pull your belly in and up, so it's going to create that separation, like that stretch between the femur bone and your upper core. All right, so normally we're here. If I squeeze the block and try to pull it back and then draw my belly in, I'm getting a stretch like this area here. Right? Because when we think of chair, we're just like, oh, well, I want to be bending here and I want this space to close off a little bit. But really, yes, you're going to drive the head of the femur bones down, right? So up here is driving down, but you want to pull the belly up. So this is what we're practicing. That's where we're headed, guys. Press it, pull the belly in, and we're just going to reach our arms up towards the sky, goal post the arms, and then keep lifting your collarbones up. Now notice what happens. Do you disintegrate here with the block as you lift the collarbones up? Push the block back. I know for me the belly spills forward here, so now my work is to draw the belly button in and up as I squeeze the block back and lift my collarbones up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep lifting the belly. And then come forward. Good. Shake it out. And I'll waddle back and forth. I want you to keep the block or the blanket or whatever. Now, if you don't have any of that, you're going to actively take the femur bones and roll them in and back. And then pull the belly in. And then act like you have a block between the thighs. All right, so when I act it, look where my hands, if I squeeze, I take my thighs away from the hands. Just active here in my inner thigh muscles. So here we go. Now, squeeze it, belly in, reach the arms up as you inhale. We'll do some sun salutations. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull your chest forward, really squeeze the block back and draw the belly in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, squeeze the block to come up. Keep the belly drawing in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze and pull your chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach up. Pull the belly in. Exhale, fold. Last one here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands to your heart. Good, and then take the block away if you have it. Okay, shake it out. So now, let's do one standing pose, or balancing pose, before we get to, there's my Fitbit again on me. I love this thing, but I want to check the time. It messes me up. All right, bring your right knee forward, you guys. Okay, right knee forward. So here, your right hip's going to want to pop up. So I want you to drive the head of your femur bone down towards the floor. All right, so notice the head of my femur bone is about here. It's kind of lifting up and over. I want to drive that down. See how that squares your hips. Flex your right foot. Draw your belly in and up. Just sit up tall and create that subtle stretch. Now reach your arms up. Flex your right foot. Good. Take your right hand down to your right knee and take it out to the side. Keep driving down the head of the femur bone like you're getting ready to sit in a chair, but you're not. Your left hand can just be wherever. If it needs to be out to the side, do that. Up, whatever you need to do. Try to square the hips so that right hip drives down. As you drive the head of the femur bone down towards the ground, your sits bone is following it. Draw your belly in and up. And then come to center and release. Good. Shake it out. Take your right foot behind you, so same leg. Just grab a hold of your right foot. Drive the knee down. Pull the belly in and up. Your left hand can just go to the left hip. So we're just getting a stretch here of your quadricep. Nothing fancy. And then as you exhale, slowly release it. Shake it out. Let's go to the other side. So grounding down into your right foot. And feel like a lift happening as you press down, lift up, belly is in. Right knee forward. Actually, let's start with our stretch here. Try to reach your arms up as you drive this left hip down. Pressing down the head of the left femur bone. Now take your left hand to your left knee. Your right arm can go wherever it needs to help you keep balance. But you're driving down the head of the left femur bone. Pull your belly in and up as you drive that down. And creating that subtle stretch. Creating space. The more space in the body, the more space our organs have to function, to move around and do what they need to do. And now open your left knee out to the side, still driving the head of the femur bone down. Right, and when I did that, I kind of collapsed to my right leg, so I'm going to reassess here. Press into my right foot, squeeze the right leg muscle, pull the belly in, drive the femur down. So much to think about, right? It's a practice. Don't worry about getting it right. Just notice the subtle changes in your body as we make these adjustments. Good. Come forward. Shake it out. You ready? Chair time. So feet here are going to be hips distance apart. And then I want you to drive down into your heels and then lift and spread your toes. And take them out. Pull your belly in and up. So start here. So there's a little bend in the knees, right? I'm not doing much yet. And I want you to pull the belly in and up. See how the tailbone drops down? And then as you keep lifting the belly in and up, try to sit back a little bit So you're going to go real slow, driving the heads of the femur bones down, and then draw the belly in and up. So there's that stretch happening. Lift your collarbones. Just take your hands to your hips, or actually into the hip creases, so you can help yourself drive down, pull the belly in and up, and collarbones lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Stay there. Good. Press into your heels, rise up, shake it out. Now let's take the block again, or your blanket, or your imagination. So feet here are hips distance apart. Squeeze the block and then create that internal rotation of the thighs. Pull the belly in and up. Ground down into your feet. Lift and spread your toes. Take them down and then bend your knees. All right, slow to start. Take your thumbs to the hip crease and push the head of your femur bones down. Notice when I do that, my body naturally is just starting to come forward, the torso. So I'm going to pull my belly in and up, lift the collarbones, squeeze my shoulder blades. Right, so I'm staying more upright, and I'm creating this space between my hips and my lower ribs. Good. Keep driving the heads of your femur bone down as you pull the belly in and up. Squeeze that block. Whew. This is work, you guys. I'm going to burn a lot of calories on my Fitbit, I know. Lift your collarbones, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe lift your head up. Good. And then stop. Shake it out. So see how the inner thighs can really help you drive the femur bone down. So you don't have to do anything with your hands, but squeeze the block, internal rotation, sit back, squeeze the block. So the more you can use your inner thighs, the more mobility, ease of mobility happens here in the torso to sit up. Right? Otherwise, if we're not engaging our thighs, we come up, it's like, oh, yeah, you can do it, but this is so much more supported. And then you can sit and take your arms up. So let's do that, right? Squeeze the block, rotate the thighs in, draw your belly in, lift the arms up. Let the collarbones lift. If this is uncomfortable for your arms, just go back to the goalpost arms. Our legs are going to be sore tomorrow. Pull your belly in and up, and then fold with or without the block. So coming into your fold. Let all that work go. And then take your feet really wide. Turn your toes in, heels out, and then fold over your legs. Just getting a different stretch of your leg here. Really push into your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your heels in, toes out, and fold again. Push into your feet and lift your sits bones up as much as you can. You can keep a slight bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, turn the toes back, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Whew. All right, so now let's go into like a second break. And then we're going right back into chair pose without props. So I want your feet hips distance apart, and maybe you've been doing it without props the whole time. All right, so you're gonna keep using those principles, but now the rest of us who are using props are going to catch up with you. Press down into your feet, a little slight bend in your knees, internal rotation of the thighs. Imagine that there's a block and you're squeezing the inner thighs together. Good, then bend your knees. You can start with your hands in the hip crease to drive the head of the femur bone down, but then keep all those other actions. Keep pressing the head of the femur bone down as you release your arms up. Draw your belly in and up. You can goalpost your arms if you need to or want to. Lift the heart even higher. See if you can sink your hips down even lower. Keep adjusting though, because as you lower the hips, this tends to happen. We come forward. I want you to lift up, pull the belly in, drive the head of the femur bone down so that the sits bones go with it. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, keep adjusting, 2, pull the belly in, 1, and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands to your heart. Good. So this work of Utkatasana chair pose helps set us up for poses that involve the shape of the legs and the torso and all that, like eagle pose, which I think we did a while back, but it's worth going back. So let's start in our chair pose, really powerful, bringing in all those principles, and then take the right leg over the left knee, right arm under the left. So you can get your hands together. Squeeze the inner thighs together and then drive the heads of your femur bone down. So bending the knees here, driving the heads down. Pull the belly in and up, because we want to have an upright eagle pose. As we cross the leg, we want our spine upright, not forward like this. All right, so all that work we did created this space to lift here. Okay, come out of that. Let's go to the other side. Start in your powerful chair pose, Utkatasana. Draw the belly in. Left leg over. Left arm under. All right, and they don't connect well on this side, so I'm just going to bring the tops of my fingertips, or my fingertips to the tops of my shoulders. Draw my belly in. Draw your belly in. Drive the head of the femur bones down. Stay upright by drawing the belly in. Lift your collarbones. And then release. All right, so this action in the legs and the space that we create between the hips and the lower ribs helps to keep us more upright in the pose. We can also do fun exercise, only if you want to. Right? I'm not there to see what you're doing, so you have to monitor yourself here. Get in the legs, internal rotation, belly in. Take the right foot on top of the left thigh. Bring your hands to your heart. Drive the heads of your femur bones down. Again, the tendency is to pitch forward. Stay upright and draw your belly in. All right, keep lengthening the spine, trying to sit upright as you drive your hips down. You could take this then into hands coming forward into a balancing pose, but this is only if you want to. Hands down, right knee goes to the upper right arm, right foot is hooked around the left tricep, and your arm, look forward, then maybe you lift a leg up. I don't know, it's something that you can play around with. Now if you're scared of falling, take a blanket and put it in front of you. Let's go to the other side, we got time. All right, to play. But you could go back to eagle, you could go back to working in chair, whatever you want to do. Start in chair pose strong, femur bones, pull in, belly in, left leg over the right. Sink down, hands to your heart, heart up. And you can just work here. Flex your left foot. Or keep lengthening the spine, you're still drawing the belly in. Femur bones are rotating in. Right, as I take my hands down, I'm going to come forward. Left knee goes to the upper left arm. Right toes hook around my my left toes hook around my upper right arm. Lean forward, and then maybe take flight. Right foot comes up. Whew. Good. Come up. and come out. I haven't done that in a long time. But those principles of power in the legs, space here in the core, collarbones lifting and creating length in the spine, make that pose more accessible. I'm not going to say easy, because it ain't easy, but you can create more access to more difficult poses by how you're putting your body in space and time. Whew. All right, guys, let's come down. Take your legs out in front of you. All right, so that was a lot of work. Give yourself a round of applause. Flex your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward for Paschimottanasana. And just an easy Paschimottanasana. Don't pull too hard. Keep your feet flexed. Draw the belly in. Let yourself have that nice stretch forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Let's do one more quad stretch before we lay down. Take your right foot forward, left knee back. Take your hands to your thigh and just push in the thigh. So again, we're stretching through here. Go ahead and take your hands down and let that left hip drop down towards the ground. You could let your right knee come out to the side if that feels okay. A little bit of a lizard stretch. And then if you have it in you, plant your left hand down, bend your left knee, reach your right arm back, grab your foot. And turn your chest up. All right, that's only if you can grab your left foot easily. If not, you can just open up here. You're still driving the head of your, especially your right femur bone, down. Good. And then come over and switch sides. Again, no fanfare, just switch sides. So left foot forward, right knee back, push into your left thigh, sit up nice and tall. Feel the stretch through the right side. You go a little bit longer between your feet. And then take your hands down to the inside of your left foot, and you could let the left knee drop out to the side. All right, so plenty of options here for you. Keep lifting your chest, and then let this hip drop down. Think about pressing your head of your left femur bone down towards your mat as well. It's kind of opposite, right? Your right femur bone is, the front of it is dropping down. Your left one, the back is dropping down. And then if you want, bend your right knee, reach around with your left hand, turn your chest up. Just a deeper stretch of your right quadricep. Go ahead and release. Whew. Let's come on to the seat. Cross your legs and then come forward with your hands. Inhale, come up, switch the cross of your feet. Walk your hands forward, folding here. And walk your hands back. Feet out in front of you, come all the way down onto your backs. Keep your hands by your side, and if there's a pose that you need to do to finish your practice up, like you could windshield wiper your knees back and forth. You could do the figure four. stretch. And that's what I'm going to do. But whatever helps you complete your practice here, go ahead and do. So you've done the figure 4 on one side, go ahead and switch sides. Maybe you're in shoulder stand. If you're in shoulder stand, go ahead and slowly start to make your way down. Whatever pose you might be in, go ahead and take yourself out of that pose, and then we'll all meet up in Shavasana. So extend your legs forward, palms up. Yeah, take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And let go of this practice. Allow your body to be heavy. Let all your bones drop down towards the ground. Slowly begin to increase the volume of your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your feet to your mat, your knees up, and roll to your side. Bring yourself up to a seated position. Your eyes closed. Take your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your right. Bow your head. Thank you for sharing this practice with me this morning. We'll seal our practice together with the chant of one Om. Breathe in. Namaste.